One of the questions that every leader has to wrestle with is, what does success look like? And I think that is an appropriate and even a profound question, because leaders and teams flounder when there's not clarity on what success looks like. So my advice is that you should have a scorecard. Now, let me just say a couple things about a scorecard. It probably has just a few key metrics. Think of these like, some call them key health indicators. If you were to go to the doctor and said, I think I've broken my leg, they're still going to check your pulse, your temperature, and your blood pressure. Those are key health indicators because they give insight into potential other issues and other concerns. What are the key health indicators for your team, for your division, for your organization? Now, that's not to say that you're only going to track, weigh, count, and measure just 3 or 4 things. But I like to think in terms of a scorecard having 2 pages. A front page with that short list, and then the second page are all of the contributing factors that enable you to accomplish the things on page 1. I had a meeting a couple of years ago with the head of one of the major airlines in America. Actually, it was the head of ground operations for this large airline. And they told me that they had had a breakthrough in this whole arena of measurement. And I said, well, tell me about that. And he said, well, we used to have 44 indicators of success. And I said, that sounds like a lot. And he said, yeah, we've always been a measurement culture. And he said, our breakthrough was when we changed it to 8. Well, it's just the 2 of us having this conversation, so I thought I'd push a little bit. And I said, well, that does sound like progress from 44. But that still sounds like a lot. And he said, well, you caught me. He said, it's really not 8. I said, oh, it's not. He said, it's 3 with 5 supporting. So he inadvertently endorsed my strategy, what goes on page 1 and what goes on page 2. And when you do the things on page 2, it should drive the things on page 1. So I think every leader and every team should have a scorecard, and it's got just a few key health indicators. Last thing I'll say is I think it needs to have leading and lagging, those things that you do that will contribute to a result and a result. And I think that's a pretty powerful formula to help you and your team know what success looks like.